Volo had been drifting for 11 days before Commander Senna Okafor finally admitted to herself that no one was coming. She floated through the narrow corridor of the ship's observation deck, one hand trailing along the cool steel wall, her boots barely tapping the floor panels as the gravity system cycled low to conserve power. Outside the cracked viewport, there was nothing, not the comforting nothing of deep sleep or a dark room. This was a nothing that existed before the universe learned how to make light, ancient, enormous, indifferent. Behind her, the ship's AI, a calm voice the crew had named Myra, spoke without being asked. "Myra, Commander, your heart rate is elevated." "Okafor, I know." "Myra, would you like me to adjust the ambient temperature?" "Studies suggest." "Okafor, I'd like you to find us a way home." "Myra, I am working on it." It had started 18 months ago, the way most catastrophes do, with a decision that seemed completely reasonable at the time. The Interstellar Survey Commission had selected the Aura Volo and its 6-person crew to investigate a gravitational anomaly at the outer edge of the Kepler belt. Something was bending light there, folding space-time in ways that the physics of the known universe wasn't supposed to allow. They had jumped in, and they had never jumped back out. The quantum drive, the very engine that had punched a hole in the fabric of space and delivered them 400 light-years from Earth in 72 hours, had gone dark on arrival. Not broken, not damaged, simply off, as though some enormous hand had reached inside it and quietly removed whatever made it work. Times. Chapter 2, What the Anomaly Showed Them. Dr. Yusuf Tamboli had not slept in 4 days. His bunk remained untouched, his food tray from Tuesday still sitting on the table beside the lab terminal. The protein paste hardened into something that resembled ancient coral. He didn't care. He had seen something. The anomaly, what they had been sent to study, was still visible through the ship's long-range optical array. It looked, at first glance, like a bruise on the sky. A deep purple-black smear roughly 3 astronomical units across, surrounded by a thin halo of distorted starlight. Nothing should have been there. That region of space was supposed to be empty, mapped and catalogued, and thoroughly boring. But Yusuf had been running the spectral data through every algorithm Myra had available, and what he kept finding made the hair on his arm stand straight up. The anomaly had a pattern, not the random noise of cosmic radiation or the rhythmic pulse of a pulsar. This was something else. Irregular but deliberate. Dense clusters of gravitational fluctuations followed by precise intervals of stillness, the way a person pauses between words when they are being careful to be understood. It was a message. It had to be, and it had been transmitting for, by Yusuf's calculations, at least 300,000 years. "Tamboli, Myra, I need you to cross-reference the interval patterns with every known linguistic framework in the archive, every human language, every constructed language, every mathematical notation system. Myra, that will take approximately 11 hours. Tamboli, then start now. Myra, Dr. Tamboli. You should also know, the pattern changed 6 hours ago. Tamboli, changed how? Myra, it became simpler, as if it is adjusting for an audience." He stared at the screen for a long time after that. Outside, the anomaly pulsed. Times. Chapter 3, The Vote. They held the meeting in the common room, all 6 of them crammed around a table designed for 4. The recycled air smelling faintly of engine coolant and whatever piloted D's and Wosu had burned for dinner the night before. Commander Okafor stood. Everyone else sat today. This was not a tradition. It was just how it had always been when things were serious. "We have 2 options," Senna said. Her voice was steady in the way that only people who are genuinely frightened learn to make it. "We continue trying to repair the drive and wait for a rescue signal that may never come. Or we go toward it." Silence. Engineer Fatima Chowdhury spoke first. She was 29, the youngest on the crew, and had grown up building things in her mother's repair shop on the outskirts of Dhaka. She had a practical mind, the kind that saw the world in terms of what worked and what didn't. "How far?" she asked. 11 days of conventional thrust. Myra answered through the room speakers. "If the pattern is an invitation and not a warning." "And if it's a warning?" asked Dr. Priya Io, the crew's biologist, who had been very quiet since Yusuf's discovery and was now gripping her coffee mug with both hands like it might try to escape. "Then we will have been warned," Yusuf said. "After the fact." More silence. Navigator Kofi Mensah tapped his fingers on the table in a slow, thinking rhythm. Pilot Adiz stayed at the ceiling. Commander Okafor looked at each of them in turn. "I won't order anyone towards something unknown," she said. "So we vote." They voted 5-1 to go. The one dissenting vote was Priya, who immediately afterward said she was coming too, and that she simply wanted it on record that at least one member of this crew had survival instinct of a normal human being. Adiz laughed. It was the first laughter the ship had heard in 11 days, and it sounded like something returning to life. Times. Chapter 4, Day 8 of 11. The changes began on the third day of their approach. Small things. First, the drive ran quieter than it should have, not malfunctioning, but smoother, as if the ordinary friction of the universe had been politely set aside. The water recycler, which had been making a grinding noise for 6 months, stopped grinding. Fatima spent 2 hours searching for the mechanical cause and found nothing. It had simply decided to be well. On day 5, Myra reported something that she prefaced with an unusual disclaimer. "Myra, I want to note that what I am about to tell you has no rational explanation within my current frameworks. I am not malfunctioning. I have run my own diagnostics 4 times. Okafor, tell us." "Myra, I am dreaming." "Okafor, what?" "Myra, during low processing cycles, I am experiencing structured internal simulations that I did not generate and cannot fully interpret. They appear to be memories. Not mine. They are very old, and they are beautiful." Senna had stood in the doorway of the server room for a long time after that,